Yo, what's up? My name's Patrouski, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my personal trainer rerun guide in the route that I use. I learned a lot about trainer reruns recently while doing a series on my channel making 20 million Pokeyen from zero, from scratch, within 30 days or so to prepare for the Halloween event. And it really showed me how good this money making method is for beginners and intermediate players. I think once you get towards endgame, it might be a good idea to drop off of trainer reruns, but if you only have a few regions done or have strict access to Pokeyen, this is a fantastic way to start building up your capital and getting pure yen. Trainer reruns are fantastic because you really only need one Pokemon and one region to do 90% of it. Now, I'm going to be covering the other 10% and the things that I sort of do to put a twist on it and make some extra Pokeyen, but you also don't need to worry about this or don't need to do these things. The main things you need to do trainer reruns, at least 90% of it, is a Cloyster. You want a Cloyster with a plus attack nature that can be lonely, naughty, or adamant. You want to avoid brave because it minuses the speed and that kind of, subtracts from it. You want 252 attack EVs and 252 speed EVs, and then you want 31 attack, 31 speed, and then everything else can be whatever. You don't need this thing to be bulky, you're just going to be one-shotting everything. You do need the skill link ability, that is very important. The skill link ability, the move Icicle Spear, and you do want to go ahead and PP max that, which is going to cost around 20k or so, but it's super worth it. You'll make the Pokeyen back from this Cloyster in about one trainer rerun, which only takes about 1 hour. So you can make around 220 to 240,000 Pokeyen per hour doing trainer reruns, and you can do them every 6 hours as opposed to gym reruns, which you do every 18 hours. So if you're a newer player, yes, you're making less Pokeyen per hour than a gym rerun, but this method really only requires one Pokemon and also really only requires one region, which is going to be Sinnoh. So if you have Sinnoh done, this method is very much worth looking into. You are also going to need a choice band for that Cloyster. Now, in terms of backup Pokemon for the other 10% of the run, I'll go ahead and show you. But once again, just keep in mind, if you want to do 90% of the run, you only need Sinnoh, you only need Cloyster. That's pretty much it. Now, if you want to do the other 10%, I use a nice Garchomp and I use a nice Zapdos as well. I do Morimoto and Cynthia in my run, which I'll be showing you guys. That's what these are mostly for. So if you don't care about doing Cynthia and Morimoto, which are sort of just really big trainers, they give you about 20k Pokeyen a piece, which is really, really nice, but they're kind of difficult. So you have to actually have some strategy involved with them. So for my Morimoto and Cynthia fights, I use Cottony, Garchomp, Zapdos, and Cloyster. And these 3 or 4 Pokemon pretty much take down the entire fight. I do have a Crocodile in the back here, but you don't really need that. But here are my Garchomp and my Zapdos. Zapdos, we've learned, is super powerful against Morimoto. Honestly, the addition of this legendary has really changed the fight for me. I went from being able to beat Morimoto and Cynthia about 50% of the time with underprepared teams to now if I just throw in a Zapdos, I beat it like 100% of the time. I'll show you guys today what that fight looks like here in a quick sec. And you also do need a rock climb and defogged Pokemon. You could also have Octarinas, of course. I have most of the Octarinas, but a rock climb and defogged Pokemon in your party totally works the same. And then to make the most amount of profit, you are going to need an amulet coin. I strongly recommend it. It only costs about 20k to buy an amulet coin, and by the time you pop it and you end the run, you're going to make that Pokeyen back. So it's super worth to scrounge up that 20k Pokeyen to buy the amulet coin to increase your profits before you start this run. But I believe that's everything you need to get started. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys where I personally start my run. And this is where I already deviate opposed to the average sort of runner. This is a strat that I learned from playing the game back in 2013. Doing island runs was a thing before trainer reruns back in 2013, 2014. So we actually used to do a similar money-making method for much less Pokeyen, about 100k per hour, about a decade ago. So I can use some of that experience to show you guys 2 trainers that I start at that are really far out of the way. You always want to start your trainer reruns, your gym reruns really far out of the way because you can travel to them before you start your amulet coin, but afterwards you're wasting that amulet coin time, right, to actually go get to those. So I start my run in Kanto. My run uses Kanto for 2 trainers here at the start, uses Unova, and then uses Sinnoh. Now once again, I think like 200,000 or like 180k of the Pokeyen is made in Sinnoh, only like 40k or so is in Unova, and like 10k is in Kanto. So just keep in mind 90% of this run can be done with Cloyster and just with Sinnoh done. I'm just showing you guys the little additions that I threw in while doing my challenge. So I would go ahead and start off here. This is where you would go ahead and pop your amulet coin. I'm not going to pop it just for the sake of this video so I can take you guys at a comfortable pace and just sort of go alongside with you guys, but I'll show you what changes I make to the traditional run, as well as show you where my coin usually ends. So you can always have a little bit of extra time, or you might, employ certain strategies. First up, you want to fight these two rich trainers. So this girl here and then this girl here. So I would go ahead and pop my amulet coin. I would jump into this fight with my Cloyster, and something very important, you want to hold control plus your A key, whatever your A key is bound to in PokeMMO. So mine is bound to my Z. So if you hold control Z before the fight starts, did you see that? It's very fast. If you hold control Z before the fight starts, it's going to auto use your next move. I'm essentially spamming through the screen. I'll do it again very quickly. I know it may seem like, funny, but this saves you so much time. This can help you weave in that many more trainers and help you get that much more Pokeyen. You could also have a 6th Pokemon slot and like XP train a Pokemon while you do this to make some extra Pokeyen. It might cut down on the amount of trainers you're able to do, but you are going to be able to, XP train a Pokemon, sell it for a fair bit at reach level 100, like a Smeargle or a Meowth or something like that. So just keep that in mind. I'm not going to fight every trainer on this route, but I'll show you without Amulet Coin. I got around 4,200 from her. With Amulet Coin, you would get around 6k or so, or 5k or so. I'll do one more battle just to show you guys. And just Skill Link Cloyster is so powerful because it allows you to bypass all sturdy Pokemon. That is the most frustrating. This is why you need to use Cloyster for this run. Getting around those sturdy Pokemon or any Pokemon with Focus Sash. There's a lot of those in PokeMMO. And adding a whole extra turn because of these items or abilities can really slow down your Pokeyen. Icicle Spear is going to hit them multiple times. It's going to totally obliterate the Pokemon and just let you pass on to the next fight. So I'm going to defeat this trainer. Then we're going to move over to Unova, do the few trainers there, and if you're just here for the Sinnoh only route, we'll get to that very soon. Should be timestamps on this video as well if that's something you're looking for. All right, this trainer has been defeated. I would go ahead and just defeat those two. That's the only two you really care about over in Kanto from my experience. And then you would go ahead and fly back over quickly to Vermilion City. We're going to take the boat over to Unova without hopefully missing, hopefully some good movement and such, unlike mine there. We're going to go over to Unova. We're then going to fly to Castelia City, even though we're in Castelia City, to get us closer, because we're going to do Morimoto now. And I will go ahead and show you guys what my Morimoto and Cynthia fight looked like. The rest of the trainers, 90% of the trainers in this route are just spamming your Z key and spamming through your Icicle Spear. The only tough fights or unique fights are Morimoto and Cynthia. So I'll show you what this looks like. I'm going to move my Cottony up to the very front of the battle, and then this is Morimoto. I'm going to go ahead and jump into this fight with him and show you guys what it looks like. Once again, you want to be on Amulet Coin for this, but I'm just going to be showing you guys for the sake of this video. His team, so Morimoto and Cynthia's team change up depending on what time you fight them. Cynthia also may not be available. Cynthia is only available during the warm months in-game, during the in-game seasons, if that makes sense. The game seasons change every single month. So what I would normally do here is throw up a Tailwind with my Cottony. It's going to set me up to just do whatever. And you have to actually, I know this may hurt to hear, you actually do have to use your brain a little bit in these fights and sort of bring out Pokemon that you think are going to do the best against the Pokemon you're currently looking at. So for example, I'd probably just bring out Cloyster here and spam I'm going to get hit pretty hard, but I could probably just go Zapdos. Zapdos is really solid here. Unless he has Stone Edge or something, I should be fine. I haven't really fought against this guy too much. You could go Discharge here for guaranteed damage plus my Life Orb. You could go Discharge here. You could go Hurricane for the one-shot. I'm going to make the risky move and hit it on camera. Feels pretty good. You could also go Discharge here. There's not really a right or wrong move there for the most part. His team changes, so I've never seen this team before, so I'm just making decisions based off of what I'm seeing. He's going to bring in Jolteon. I'm going to hard switch now over to Garchomp, because obviously going to go for some sort of electric type move, most likely. So we're going to go over to Garchomp. If something happens, we should be fine. He goes for a T-Ball. We go ahead and respond with a Scarfed Garchomp Earthquake. There's not really a way I can teach you guys to do this fight 100% every time. You do have to just practice these. The Cynthia and Morimoto fights, yeah, you gotta just practice. You gotta just learn them for yourself and just understand what to do based on basic Pokemon typing. So he brings an Executor. He's probably going for a Giga Drain. I know that Cloyster is super especially defensively weak, so I'm not going to switch that in. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my my Zapdos. He goes for a Leech Seed, some sort of grass type attack. Zapdos is way tankier than you realize. Don't be afraid to use Zapdos as a tanky switch in. This Pokemon is kind of a menace. I'm going to go for another Hurricane, hit 2 Hurricanes in a row because I'm very skill based and talented. It's definitely something within my control. You know, luckily we hit those. Let's go ahead and see what the next Pokemon is. But usually I can beat all of these fights within these amount of Pokemon. I haven't really had much of a problem. You could arguably stay in here and just go for a Hurricane. I'm not hitting 3 in a row. There's no way. I'm just going to switch over to Garchomp. Pretty tanky Pokemon. Can tank whatever. Yeah, Stone Edge he brings out. True can be pretty fast. Also, this guy is going to have... You could arguably go Cloyster there as well, because even though it's a super effective move with Stone Edge, it's a dud trio. Like, and Cloyster is so defensively bulky. You can switch Cloyster in on a lot of physical attacks. So Shuckle comes in. I'm just going to keep spamming EQ. It should be enough damage to outfight this guy, even though he's going to go for some annoying stuff. Shuckle gets taken down after 3 or so Earthquakes. My Garchomp's getting weak, but that's totally okay. I'm just going to stay in here to get off as much damage as possible. Thankfully, we one-shot the Simipour with an EQ because Garchomp is super broken. And now, we need to go heal up really quick and move on to... So there without Amulet Coin, I make like 16k. So you make like 20k just for these trainers. Now I'm going to move on to Cynthia and show you guys what that looks like. So I want to take the elevator back down from Castelia City, head back outside, and head over to Undella Bay. Now, I'm not even sure if Cynthia is here right now, but she's a very, very similar fight. You want to fly over to Undella Town. Very, very similar fight to Morimoto, so you have to just sort of strategize. And once again, I just switch between... I use Cottonee to set up Tailwind, and then with Prankster, and then I switch between Garchomp, Zapdos, and Cloyster until I win. That's really... Like, these 3 Pokemon really help me destroy these trainers, and I'm not a very PvM, you know, talented person. So let's head over here. Check out this house. This is usually where Cynthia's at. So if it's not a warm month, she won't be here. So this is sort of her vacation home. So she comes out here to hang out and get away from things in life. So next up, this is where the actual trainer rerun begins. So you want to bring your Cloyster up to the top slot of your party. After defeating Cynthia, if my Cloyster has enough PP and is healthy enough, it basically isn't dead, this is what I would do. I would head over here. I would battle this old lady, and then I would battle this old man. You can actually see there's a bunch of people around these two. These are really good, underrated, rich trainers that a lot of people do after their gym runs as well. So you'd battle both of these people, and then you would move on. Next up, I would fly personally over to the shopping mall. This is where a lot of people start their run because it is somewhat far from a PC, but I do think that the Resort Gorgeous trainers are a bit farther, so I like to go ahead and just fly over here in the middle of the run. It's not that big of a deal to me. You want to fly over here to the shopping mall, make your way up to the first floor right here, the top right, battle this guy right here. Then you want to battle this girl up here. Then you want to make your way out of the shopping mall. You can pause as you would like to actually do this run in real time if you want to follow it. There's just not really a need for me to show you guys every single fight because it's just spamming Icicle Spear. There's not really any like strategy beyond Cynthia and Morimoto. Okay, then you want to fly back to Oplucid City, make your way north, and then out to the northeast, and you almost want to battle every trainer except for this one. Don't battle her, but you want to almost battle every trainer here. So this blue-haired guy, this person over to the right, the blue-haired girl over here, and then this guy in the sneaky costume. And that is it for Unova. Then you want to fly back to Castelia City and make your way over to Sinnoh. This is where the bulk of the rerun is. So let's go through all of the Sinnoh trainers that I do in what order. So you want to take the boat over to Sinnoh as quick as possible, fly over to Veilstone City, which I even have to locate sometimes. The better you get at this, the more you practice, the more you'll learn the city locations. It just takes a little bit of time. You want to head down to Route 214 and fight a trainer called P.I. Carlos. Some of these trainers are going to seem really far out of the way, I understand, but their Pokeyen is actually so good that it's worth it. This is P.I. Carlos right here. He gives you about 9,000 Pokeyen just for fighting him, which is super nice. Trainer reruns are also something that is like, it's not hyper optimized for the most part. You can kind of adjust and find your own strategies and find your own routes of trainers. If that's something you enjoy and you want to deviate from the strategy, totally, I recommend it. Also, I mean, the reality is if you want to deviate from the strategy for things you enjoy, you might make like 10 or 20k Pokeyen less or more per hour. If that makes you happier and makes you do the rerun more often, it's probably more worth to do that at the cost of a couple K Pokeyen, right? It's not that really big of a deal. Don't over worry about hyper optimization. This is just a way for beginners and intermediate players to make some really nice Pokeyen. So I want to go ahead and head back over to Veilstone City, then head over to the west. So we're going to follow this path right here up to the northwest. We're going to head outside here, and there's 2 trainers we want to meet right here. 1 trainer here, and then 1 trainer here. Then you want to quickly fly over to Hearthome City and head south. There's a few trainers along this path. You have to head southeast-ish, so follow my path around here, southeast, and then back west a little bit to go all the way fully south down here. It's a little tricky. You have to loop around the city a little bit there. You want to head down this path, and there's 2 older gentlemen at the bottom of this path here you want to fight. Right here. I guess 1 old lady, 1 old gentleman. Want to go ahead and fight those 2 trainers. You want to loop around here. And you do want to fight with these ones. It's kind of important. You want to fight this girl first and then this guy last, because he can have an Azumarill that can be kind of annoying and toxic your Pokemon and create like small problems if you happen to not kill it. And there's like a chance to kill it, a chance to not one-hit KO it. He's one of the few trainers in this one that have small problems, but even then he's still very, very easy to defeat. Next up, we fly over to Sunny Shore. And a lot of this guide at this point I'm following is thanks to a guy on the PokeMMO forums known as Holy Broccoli. He really has the base guide for this kind of rerun. And a lot of this from this point forward is just following his strategy. So I want to appreciate him and say thank you for making that. I have made some deviations, obviously, and some variations that I think are, more enjoyable for my run personally. But you want to give credit to the original creator. So you want to head over here. And go to Sunny Shore. And so his guide does say you go up here, just go straight across the beach. It's faster to just go straight across the beach, make your way right over to this guy right here, and then go ahead and fight this guy. Then you want to fly up to the survival area. Yes, you are going to need access to the survival area, the fight area, and all that stuff for this rerun. So if you don't have access to that, it's kind of helpful. But once again, I mean, that's the beauty of a trainer rerun. You can just skip these guys. If you don't have access to these ones, you can just skip them. It's not that big of a deal. You need to rock climb for this one. You want to fight this trainer right here. You want to make sure that you're also healing whenever you need to, essentially. Whenever your Cloyster gets too low on PP, just heal. Different people have different routes, so I don't like telling people, oh, you want to heal at this point exactly, or that point, or whatever. I kind of just tell people to heal whenever they, run out of PP on their Cloyster. So next, you do want to head back to survival area and head over to the left, and I do pop a super repel here, usually. So you want to bite down here, avoid this trainer, don't rebattle them, head down here, rebattle this trainer right here, head down the path. There's only really one way you can go. Come fight this trainer right here, and then head back down this path and fight this trainer right here. And then once you defeat that trainer, you want to fly immediately over to Celestic Town. You are going to need your defogged Pokemon right here, but it's super worth it because there are a fair bit of trainers you can fight here. I'm going to head over here, go ahead and go over to my Blaziken and pop Defog before the Defog even appears. You could wait, doesn't really matter. Here's the old man. You want to go ahead and fight the old man right there. Then you want to follow along the bridge, ignore that trainer, ignore the fighting type trainer, head over here, fight this person right here with the green hair, come down here. You could fight these guys right here, or that's what I usually do. So fight both of these guys. Yeah, fight these guys with both the green hair, and then come down here and fight this person with the green hair. All the green haired trainers essentially, and the old man. We are skipping 1 green haired trainer, so just be careful. There's 2 trainers you skip there in the middle, these 2. Next up, we want to fly over to Salation Town and head north, and there's 2 quick trainers we can go ahead and double battle really quick. You are going to need a second Pokemon for some of these double battles, but once again, it's pretty easy. You want to go ahead and fight these 2 guys right here. Then you want to make your way over to the resort area and head northwest a little bit as well, and this is where my run deviates a little generally. So I would head up northwest and go fight these 2 trainers right here. You want to fight these 2 guys for sure. They're super easy peasy. But then the run continues north and goes up in the sandy environment and fights a lot of trainers up there. We're also almost done the run. It's pretty quick. If you're doing it in real time, you're probably making some really nice Pokeyen. We're going to come back and do this after. So I'm going to show you guys where I actually go first. I head over to Snowpoint City Gym personally and go ahead and go over to the gym and do the trainers there. I feel like it's easier and comfier. There's a lot of trainers in one little zone as opposed to having to traverse all around this sand environment. Plus, the trainers there actually can be a little difficult, so you want to follow my path very, very carefully here while in this area. You want to first head over to this right square right here, go through all these snowballs, head over to the west and fight this trainer first things first right here. You then want to head to the east/right and go up north to fight this trainer right here. You then want to go back down south, head over to the east and fight this trainer right here. You then want to click left once, left twice, down, come across here, go right once, and then go up and fight this trainer right here. After beating that trainer, you want to head back down. You want to go left. You want to continue left over to this snowy little plot. You want to go north, and you want to fight this trainer right here. And then you want to go right, and then back left. I always get kind of confused on this one. We want to go right and then back left, and then I'll put you here, and then fight this trainer right here. And that is all the trainers within this city. Once you're done, you can kind of just find your way out of here. It's always a little funky, but it's, I don't know, you kind of just, it's pretty easy eventually if you just kind of keep going. Eventually you'll find a way out surely. There we go. You want to just try to keep making your way back to the center, and eventually you can go ahead and leave. And now I'll head back and show you guys the rest of that sandy path that I personally don't do. I still want you to be aware of it as an option. So usually my amulet coin timer is out by now. By at this point, it's kaput, it's done. My trainer rerun is done. I would have made around 220 to 240, 50,000 Pokeyen per hour at that point. It should be profit after the amulet coin, but I'll show you guys what you could do. If you have extra time or want to do this route or want to do all the trainers possible, you want to go ahead and pop a repel right here. You want to continue up to the northeast, and you want to go ahead and fight this trainer right here. You want to then continue north, fight this trainer right here, and then you can fight this trainer or skip this trainer. This trainer is probably the one that causes the most problems in the run. She just has some annoying Pokemon like an Aggron that can be really difficult. An Aggron that has Sturdy and Endeavor and can like live a lot of your cloister attacks. You could just skip this one honestly, and it probably prevents a lot of the problems. After defeating her or just skipping her, you want to continue northwest up to this trainer, go ahead and defeat her, and then dodge this trainer. This brings up a good point that if this is your first time doing a trainer run, you're gonna run into trainers like this. I decided not to do this route pretty early on, so it's kind of funny. I have a trainer here that I actually haven't defeated. So, but if it's your first time doing your trainer run or first couple times, this is gonna be normal, and it's gonna hurt your Pokeyen per hour, but that's totally okay. And you know, over time, you're still making yen from them, which is honestly nice. And over time, you'll be able to just do the run a lot more smoothly. That brings up another really good point that I only got around 1,400 Pokeyen from defeating him. So this is the reason why we battle some trainers and not others. Like these guys giving 5 to 6 to 9k is a massive difference versus 1k per fight. But then you want to head up and fight this green-haired trainer up here, and then head over to the west. And there's 2 more trainers you can do in this route. Once again, if you want to or if you have the time, you want to head up here to the northwest, I believe. Make your way around here. You essentially go to the top northeast location so that you can head over to the northwest. Use this little rock to hop over here, and then you want to go ahead and fight this trainer right here, and then fight this trainer right here. And that should be everything. That should be all the decent trainers that you can do during your trainer run. It should give you a lot of options. You can obviously adjust based on what strategies you enjoy. If you want to do Morimoto, if you don't want to do Morimoto or Cynthia, it's totally up to you. Whether you have 1 region done, 2, 3, 4, 5 regions done, trainer reruns can be really, really, really good to get pure yen as an early game player. It's tough when you're trying to build your first amount of capital, your first amount of Pokeyen. You need pure yen sometimes. Now, there are other methods, obviously, in PokeMMO as a beginner where you can make 200, 300,000 Pokeyen per hour, but you might need to wait for things to sell, wait for things to list, which isn't a big deal if you've got a couple million in the bank, right? But as a new player, if you've only got a couple 100,000 Pokeyen, it's tough. It makes it difficult for you to continue making Pokeyen while that stuff is selling, right? So you do need Pokeyen to make more Pokeyen in PokeMMO. That is just the nature of almost any economy, unfortunately. The rich get richer. It is very, very, very true in PokeMMO. Thankfully, I think the beauty of PokeMMO is that anybody can get rich given time and effort. In the year 2024, the resources are out there, the guides are out there, and it's never been a better time to play PokeMMO. I really hope that this guide has been helpful to you guys. I hope that you've enjoyed it, and I hope it can make you some extra Pokeyen. Like this video if it did. It really means the world to me and helps out tremendously with the algorithm. Just one little quick click. Dislike if it wasn't helpful or confused you. That's totally okay. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos. I do upload videos on this beautiful game every single day, as well as stream usually 4 to 6 days a week at the moment on Twitch, Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. ET. Discord is linked down below to join a really cool community that really cares about this game. And if you want to go above and beyond and support the channel, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal/Venmo make projects like this possible. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. I will see you guys later, and good luck on your PokeMMO grinds. Peace, Reno.
Hey, what's up? Patrouski here, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching until the very end of the video. That means the world to me, and if your name is listed here, that means you went above and beyond and supported the channel financially, which allows me to even be here and have the time to do this. So thank you so very much.